Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, all you that is the day, and all of them that are aspiring on their way. Yes, I am continuing on again as the day, dressed in the day, surrounded by the day, dressed in all this goodness and this good love from above, and all that the sky and heaven is making me with our Lord. And I will say that I feel that we have made more progress again today, even though we have been under attack already. And it's by the same damned thing whom doesn't seem to understand that they really truly need to come forward and make some type of conversation so that there might be something other than just goodbye forever. But I really think it is only goodbye forever because of how hostile and untrustworthy it has been. Now, moving on from that, I put out on Facebook what I was watching last night, if it means anything, if there's anyone who can't hear me, because I think I'm like the Will Ferrell character who could not modulate the volume of his voice, so that he said everything, very loudly. And that's what I guess is I used to be extremely loud. And I'm guessing that I will be again, and that's not too far from now. And that I'm supposed to be that loud. I've been impressed with the fact that there's been honesty from some of them around me. That does mean an awful lot. Even if it is a snake, once they begin to behave correctly, then you go from, I'll chop the head off of every damn snake and trample them all to, well, perhaps we could, develop some of this, that kind of thing. But again, last night I put out that we were having our Last Supper, which, if any of you don't know, was a cheeseburger and fries. I went to the little store, the convenient mart, the other day and picked me up a bag of Ore-Ida crinkle cuts to go with that cheeseburger, which I'd planned. And it was a cheesy cheeseburger with mayonnaise and lettuce, and unfortunately I was out of tomato, but and onions. And instead of putting ketchup on it, I put mustard because I was going to have the fries, and that would have ketchup. And I'm telling you now, it was one of the most delicious burgers of my entire life. I thought, how appropriate for my last meal. The cheeseburger and fries. My survival food. Which, I was helped to be able to enjoy these things throughout my life. My palate was sensitive to the nuances of different tastes rather. I don't know what that was. That's something you normally edit out, I think. But moving on. And we decided that we were going to, because we'd been exposed to a few things, some of the movies that I, had seen as a child during those Saturday or Sunday winter afternoons where we'd watch The Robe or, The Greatest Story Ever Told or something, maybe Ben-Hur. You might even get to see something after you've been out for a long time. But I remember that there were a lot of religious movies. And that was my indoctrination, you see, because I grew up in a house that said there was no God. And no one attended church. That just wasn't a thing. So there was my Christian indoctrination. But also, past that, film helped me to remember the heroes of the past and their motives, their unselfish motives for the good. And because they had a sense of honor. Concepts like this. And all these things struck home and meant something to me. And it was because I was being guided and formed. And I think the good that was with me did good. in helping me to form a loving heart that didn't stop loving, and to seek to be better and to aspire to not necessarily what others would call greatness, but goodness of some sort. It really, you get to, and after you get to a certain age, it really does seem to be like, I mean, either you're going to turn towards the dark side more and more as you go, or you're just going to be more along those Zen lines and know that all those major themes are absolutely correct because you've seen them play out again and again, even if you experienced it only through others around you in their lives. But one of the movies I don't think I ever saw as a child, and the only reason why we were able to see any of it is because of YouTube. And it was a Charles Laughton film that was abandoned. It was never produced. I don't know if I've talked about this in another video or not. I think I did, but I don't think I published it. It was called I, Claudius. I, Claudius. And it's a Roman film about the Senate. And it's a strange film. And maybe one of the reasons why it was abandoned because they had historically incorrect figures, perhaps. They implied a woman was sitting on the throne for some reason, some old lady. And I guess it might have been possible. I don't remember any such history, but it was supposedly the leader that was maybe in an interim. She was sitting in the seat. I don't know, but it was before Caligula came to power, and we all know that Caligula represents something far beyond a love for physical indulgence. It was more of a darker spirit. And I, Claudius, represented the good guy, even though he had these shortcomings, physical shortcomings and challenges. And Charles Laughton, and I highly recommend you seeing it. It's what you want is the 30-minute version, 29 minutes, something like that, where they've cobbled the pieces together without showing you the take 2 or take 3 things, and without all the commentary and everything. Because there's another version of it, it's like an hour or something long, where they talk about the production, all the reasons why it didn't go forward. I guess I didn't watch all that, but they tell the story well enough, and you get to see the performance, and it was a stellar performance in my opinion anyway. But then I was also reminded of Beckett, Richard Burton's Beckett, he was one of my favorite actors of all time. And maybe because I thought of him as a hero, a really brave and courageous man for having married, Elizabeth Taylor. Gee whiz. And of course, she was the end of him in Cleopatra, which he should not have played in that movie because, again, I think these things are art, and they do have effect upon ourselves, probably if we're making it, and others as well, I do believe. All art is something to be not taken lightly. But in any case, we did watch Beckett last night. We put that out there that we were having the Last Supper. And the movie that we were going to be enjoying was Beckett, 1964, Richard Burton, Peter O'Toole. Peter O'Toole was just a really... he was something, wasn't he? He was so very popular. And he played Jesus, didn't he? Yeah. The movies I've seen of him, really great work. He's another great. Edgar G. Robinson. I can't keep it out of my mind recently because I've been seeing clips of him. See? Yeah, meh. Yeah, it was meh. I think that's, see? And I saw a performance of his great acting. It was as though he was living the part. And it was something about how you're killing me at the wrong time. And you could see he depicted the face of insanity. And it was truly, I was thinking, I wonder if this is the evil witch trying to speak to me. You're killing me at the wrong time. Because, like, what? Have they changed their evil ways? Are they not dangerous? Are they not going to be damaging? And so I still rebuke and reject and refute and repudiate all that the magic or demon witch might proclaim. And of course, we're not going to be partnered with them. Today is the first day of the fast, and I do believe and proclaim that it will go well, that I have greater help and protection. So, and I've been assured that I won't be under attack for it, and I won't be receiving lots of bad energies from my belly or digestion. So, in other words, I won't be sabotaged. And I do believe it's going to make a big difference this time. I think there were many moving moments in that film, Becket. And an awful lot of it, of course, came from O'Toole's performance, which was the emotional side of the coin, you might say, and depicted him as someone, of course, given to debauchery of different sorts, I guess, the physical indulgences. I think one of them referred to him as somebody they thought was going to be a perennial adolescent. But the great love he had for Becket, and I know Becket was an honest guy and would have probably loved him as much as any he could, except that he felt no honor in the situation. It's just the thing of it is, that see, it's like, this is what I said to Darth Vader about it. I mentioned the movie is because, you people really don't want to push me into the direction you're going, because it will become a very serious thing, just as it did for Thomas Becket. There is that scene where he prays to be made worthy. And if you have any humility, if you have the sense that, no, I'm not perfect, and no, I don't know everything, and yes, I do need help and guidance to be correct. And he admits, he doesn't, of course, try to admit to the Lord every single detail of all his sins. He doesn't need to. That's not what it's about. It's to admit that, you have been like this. And he speaks of it, and his love, as it was given elsewhere instead of to God. And that strikes home. It really does. And I know there are those that love me, and I believe they are sincere. And I'm hoping there's a bunch of people that we're going to be able to take with us. I think that's what my job was, to rise up and be above all of this like I was supposed to be, and without a damn demon attached to me, and speak truth, speak life, and say things like, hey, you know what? It really is real. And let me explain it to you in ways that you can understand, since the book, while the information is there, is not so easy for people to get. Otherwise, why would they go on eating till the rest of their days? Why would they feel like, well, what I'm here to do is live this long life that blah, 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 and did this and achieved that, and go, useless stuff to attain, and blah, 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 blah. Still, there are many questions I have about what I witnessed as Christians and Christianity. Because what it was advertised to me is you get with God, you stay on the sunny side, you live a clean life, and you're going to have a pretty happy, decent life. Sure, a little rain must fall into every life, they say, but that doesn't mean it has to keep returning to it. It can be that you get to the point where he says, you've suffered enough, so you shall suffer no more. And that's what the promise is to me. I think it's so funny and encouraging that I can see them, that if they may actually be a card reader, okay? I've seen many of them that I don't believe they're a card reader at all. And because they look at cards and they say, and because of this and that, and it's like, that card has nothing to do with that. But still yet, if you don't know anything about it, someone who didn't know what the cards were, it would seem as though they were making reference points, as though these, okay, when they're referencing things that don't have anything to do with the other thing. So I know they're not divining anything. I know they're not telling me the future, because I could tell them the future much better than they could ever. I know that. And we are going to continue rising up. I praise God for that. I've heard promises, reassurances that I'm thinking are quite believable now. And I'm having more faith in that. I'm going to have to get some equipment, get a microphone and that kind of thing. And I would like to be able to do at least the most basic editing, and probably I won't need to buy a package. We'll just go with one of those freebie outfit things, because how much do you need to do? I know the Wicked Witch and such, they were all about, spend all your time on learning this, that, and another so that you can be really slick. And I'm not a video producer, you see. I don't really want to learn all those skills. If I can learn enough to get by and produce a video, whether it's actual video or if it's something like this, that's good enough. If I can put a nice picture on the screen for people to look at while they listen to me, that'll be good enough, I'm sure. Maybe we'll put a thumbnail of us on the side, talking, even though it'll just be a standard thing, going on. Not necessarily that we're speaking on that subject at the time. I don't know about that. I'm not exactly sure that I want to have my image plastered all over everywhere. I think that the AI has to be brought in hand right now, and if this was a real world, Congress would be on top of that already. And why wouldn't they be? What the hell is wrong with the system? If there's copyright laws and you're not supposed to be able to take Morgan Freeman's image and pretend it's him so you can sell your whatever, come on down because it's Morgan Freeman selling you this or that from some local whatever. That's illegal as hell. Now, how is it any different to use a person's likeness and or their voice, similar voice, or an AI-generated voice? It's extremely similar, okay, to make clicks, which is bringing them money for the advertisements that they're selling on those places. It's not, none of it's really free, is it? How's it any different? Why is that not illegal? Again, why is it that I can go out there and find any song I want to listen to, and listen to it without paying a royalty? In other words, it seems to me to be completely pirated. They've made people accustomed to this, making them feel like it's all public property. So is it just they're wanting us all to sin in some sense? Okay? How is it possible that I can go and watch any of this music, have the music video, listen to it, and no one's saying anything? It's not being taken down, and it's not on the artist's channel, okay? The artist isn't getting paid for it. They're not getting clicks or recognition for it or anything. And it's someone else that's, making a buck somehow. How is that not illegal? How is it that they say, what is their excuse that that's out there and it's not being taken down? When if I include, an arbitrary amount of seconds of that song onto my video, they're going to give me a copyright strike. Boom! No one see the hypocrisy in this. Wasn't it Billy who was saying, they had the ability to stop this? And I think we all do know that is happening, that all the artists and the studios and everything and everyone everywhere that has produced any type of art is being ripped off for the sake of YouTube and its popularity and its profit. Why isn't YouTube being held responsible for this? They can't say that they can't stop it. If they can catch me using a few seconds of somebody's song, they certainly can catch the whole damn song being produced at a CD quality level and broadcast to the public. Can't they? Yeah, but I digress, don't I? We certainly have gotten off onto another subject altogether. But it does, it's another one of those things to make people go, huh, and scratch their head. A little light bulb flickering over top of their head. Yeah, you know, whatever the game is, they certainly have played it well as far as appearing to be the evil bastards from hell. And I, being the day, something that is not going to be profitable for them to see rise and do what I'm supposed to do. We're not going to rise contaminated with shackled, tethered to damn demons and the damned. We're not rising with that. Those people shall fall away. It doesn't mean that they, I just think they've ruined it for everyone that could have done more with us. I made that video yesterday, early in the day, just after getting out and seeing the hordes of people that were out there. And I do mean it. If I have to let go of everyone and everything that I've ever loved or cared about or thought I might, and do it all on my own, then that's what I'll have to do. If I have to do it all on credit, then that's what I'll have to do. But I'm counting on the good Lord above, all of them of the God people. I am counting on to make me as I was before all this began. Well, no, not that, but better, the better version. All geared up and ready and impervious to this stuff, and above it again. And that's what we are praying for again, that we continue going up, and that we receive more of the Prince of Peace and his light, and that we're more of the sky, and that we do remain peaceful, cool, calm, and collected, and that peace is on the inside as well as the outside. Amen. In the name of the Prince of Peace, him who is worthy, our Father who art in heaven, amen. So, do I take the Lord seriously? Yeah. Do you love God, Tom? Well, do I love feeling good? Do I love joy? Do I love happiness? Do I love good things? Do I love being able to love others and not be killed for it? Do I love all the good things that are possible to experience? Yes, I sure do. I love him. I love him. All good things do come from him. He is the blessing. He is the prize. That's all there is to it. To go and live in his house is the best. That's what heaven is, I do believe. It's his house. And that's where we're headed. We're headed straight to the top. We're letting loose of all these hateful things that we are going to rise above. Now, I don't know what the deal is on them. I don't know what to do with them other than abandon it, because after all, it just does seem to be not a servant or a helper or a partner or love of any sort, but rather only a dragon. Something that answers to the name of magic, which we all know is not a part of my house, and nor can it be, because this is a house of light. This truly is a house of his. I, body, mind, and soul, committed myself to him, to the heavens. And so that's the way it is. The evil people helped to do that. They've solidified my commitment to the Lord. I will give them that. I will give them that because, hey, you were just totally so evil and so hateful and so very much the enemy that can't be worked with that, yeah, you played your role just the way he wanted you to. Are you in control of you? Because I bet you, you know how you were sitting there that one day and with the evil guy, Mr. Angry, and lit up my accompaniment so they all of a sudden they were filled with anger and towards me, and they didn't have a friggin' clue. What do you think God can do with you? I've been seeing recently an Anthony Hopkins project that I'd like to view more of called Westworld. And he was talking, and apparently they're, gods in that little made up world that they're in. And, well, anyway, who's controlling you? Which brings me to the young man I was watching this morning, that Jordan fellow, which I think I'm going to end up in contact with him. He really does remind me of Christopher David an awful lot. And maybe that is my brother. Maybe that's my brother and his new destiny. And I'm glad to know that he's going to turn loose of painting. And while it's an enjoyable experience and it's a nice way to express oneself, you don't want to use that tool to express. You'd be better off learning to play a guitar, like I'm going to, I'm sure. And being able to sing, praises of the Lord. If nothing else, just strumming the guitar, I guess. Pretty sounds. Majors, I'd say, right? But anyway, he was giving another message that was inspirational. And I think he's going to get it. I hope he does. I hope my brother gets Christ. The reason why I prayed for him is because I know the boy has had love in him, and he wanted to love. And he did not have a good life, and he was greatly burdened by that evil dragon bitch that he called Mother, whom did consume him greatly, I do believe, and cursed him to his death, which I don't know how she's going to work that off. But then, some of the dark people that go to the dark side, they're running that game. Darth Vader shows them how to run their game, how they're going to be running it again and again and again forever and ever and ever. For the wicked have no rest, do they? If you watch the Pilgrim's Progress, it's a thing. And most people don't understand that. They don't want to believe it. But you know what? Because of the darkness and their desire to continue bringing out all these themes for the public to be exposed to all these concepts in so many very different ways, they've made the ground so perfectly fertile for me to come on to. It's just funny. The Lord is a genius. He's the genius beyond all other geniuses. He can take anything that the enemy does and turn it to our benefit, and he does. It's become obvious to me that all they've done is actually for my benefit, my success, and my victory. I can see that clearly now. It's difficult whenever you're too down in it to understand it. Cut off from all that made you you. That precise mind, that sharp intellect, I thought was innate. And I guess it is, but I have to be high enough that my steeple is actually reaching what I need to reach. And I do pray my steeple continue to grow. In the name of the good Lord, the Prince of Peace, our Father who art in heaven, amen. Yes, and I can see where this is running long, and it'd be easy for me to have made a couple videos out of this. But again, back to Jordan's message. He's becoming enthused, I do believe. He was wearing the right kind of picture on his shirt, because the future is the sun. It truly is. The future is the light. It's not feminine. It's not women. It's him. The future is our Father in heaven. That's the future. That's what it is. The future is the Prince of Peace. Again, day rules over night. Light rules over the darkness. That's the way it is. That's the way it always will be. There is not anything equal, although things can be equalized at times, and others that were too far below to feel good about themselves and their life can get on that journey and become upwardly mobile, improve along the way, a little bit each and every day. And yes, we are improving again and again each and every day, and I'm so grateful for it. Could I improve 10% instead of 1? I would like to. I'd like to make some of those jumps, and I've been promised that here coming up very soon. It might be the material wealth that's coming, but I do know that regardless of whether or not I ever were to become wealthy in the material sense of the worldly money, like US dollars, that I still am becoming improved spiritually. My spiritual body, my aura, my shields. The attacks today have been, again, where they've been dropping, I guess, some type of hot energies or something. And they've been flying by. Because, of course, unless they had that tool, which I pray that they lose that tool, that they lose the airplane, and that be taken from them, so they can't do it to me anymore. If they didn't have that, they wouldn't have anything. And soon, I'll be in a place not here. I won't be here this time. I'm going to be leaving here soon, I know. And I'll be able to roll out of here, like I said, with my head held high, riding high like a king or something, and protected, loved, and with all the resources I need to go, and without even having to have any faith at that point. It's like, well, gee, after he provided me this, I guess I can have all the faith in that I'm going to be taken care of wherever I go, something like that kind of feeling. But, again, God's proven himself to me again and again. These that love me sincerely are proving themselves to me again and again. Even though, I was reminded yesterday by the Fugees, which they were a pretty nice little band, weren't they? That I've been killing them softly with my song. I have to find some way. I think that's why we always were given a new one, like in the Peter Gabriel song, Salisbury Hill, because we had to have another one, another helper assigned. Yeah, he made a lasting impression on me. I did buy his album. But Jordan was talking about the beauty of having God with you. And it was, he revealed something of his own wisdom. He didn't even realize that he did it. It was an unconscious move that he did while he was talking. And I was like, that's right. That's where it is. That's where it would be. And just like in Godspell, he was talking about following God and his guidance, trusting it, having faith. And he was describing doing this or that, and then being able to question what they thought that they were told, and hear back, and so on and so forth. And I'll put it to you like this: once you get to a certain point in this walk, you will have so much of him in you that while you're not him, in effect, you are. The same as whenever God was, or Christ was saying to others, when you look at me, you're seeing the Father, because he was one with God. It means he was not one at all in any way, shape, or form with the other. He was with God only. Now, he would be moved. See, the thing is, you don't think about every little thing that you do. when you turn left, or you dodge a pothole, or you jump over a snake, or whatever you do it because you do it. So when you have enough with you, when you are more light, and you have willingly given yourself over, and you find that you are loving, and probably more than you ever have, then you realize you dodge bullets not because he's telling you to move left or right, but because you are moving left or right because you're moving that. Because he's there and he's moving you left or right. I can't tell you how many times I've been saved from deadly situations simply because I made the exact right move at the last second. And I know now it wasn't always me or my instincts, what I would call me and my, okay? That's the ego. I know that it's him. I know that it's the light. And I love them. Absolutely love them. And I know there's these songs like Rage Against the Machine, now that you're under control, you and your chosen whites, and shut the hell up and go back to hell and stay there. Go back to the pit, you hateful damn thing. Because we don't care what your opinion is. Yeah, it was good work. I liked it. I used to have headbang to it and sing along with it. If you, I won't do what you tell me. That kind of. And I can look back on it and I can laugh at how so very lost I was. But I've been found. And thank God Almighty in heaven that I found him in me. The most beautiful thing I could have imagined. And I know that the reason why I was unable to fully embrace him in the book and all that, and instead go along with, some explanation of, yeah, God's real, but I don't think he's watching us. He's not around. This is like a little farm project he probably started, and he's gone off to go work on other things, and he comes back in a few thousand years to see how it worked out. And something like that. Which is obviously a stupid lie one tells himself, to believe that God's not watching, and that you're not important to him. And that was easier for me to believe because I had some emotional connection to Christ. I didn't like to see him on a cross. I don't like crucifixes. To me, it seems like that's sympathetic magic where they're just trying to keep him on the cross. They keep making... You see what I'm saying? It's like, stop depicting him on the cross. I don't see that it's right. I don't think it's correct. What do you think? It is it's a very powerful... I don't know, maybe it's okay. I don't know for sure. I'm sure I will soon, though. But in any case, I did have like an emotional connection to it all. And it was strong. And if you believe anything about the astrology thing, which there is some evidence to support some of it, but of course you don't want to bother with that stuff very much at all, and maybe not at all, because again it detracts from the reality, which is they're explaining things to you that you don't need any explanation for, and it's all about distracting you from the actual truth, which is him. And it doesn't matter how you were born or what is in you, he can change that. He is the God that gives and takes away. And it's a beautiful thing. He can help you to develop. He is willing to work with you as much as you're willing to work with him, I do believe. As much as you're willing to be improved. And sometimes I saw where one of them, a young lady I always thought of as a clean soul, a happy, sunny spirit, was talking about her brother when he died. And she said sometimes people give a little for a long time or something like that, and sometimes they give all that they have. And it's the truth. And I do hope and pray that I am that one-way ticket. that I am that door for them. This light that I have, which I do intend to shine, will lead many home, because that's what a lighthouse is supposed to be, isn't it? At least that's my belief. Now, for all my Egyptian brethren from ages past or whatever, I will ask you again, is Ra El? It's a question. It's not Israel. Israel. Go back to the history of the exchange and what happened. I saw no evidence of the God of light and life standing up for the Egyptians. It was as though the God of light and life was abandoning them, or at least saying, you know what, since you're all about working with the dark side too, and you won't just follow the light, I'm going to take these pure people, this humble group that you have been torturing forever, and I'm going to give them miraculous delivery from your evil ways and you, and I'm going to take them off, and they're going to live with the light without living for the darkness, because they're not going to draw pictures. They're not going to make appeals to dark gods. And mostly, this has worked out. So, as I understand, the Egyptians were, a lot of them were sun worshippers, worshiping Ra. Ra, 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 Ra. The light in the sky, which would be the light of life to all below them. When I look up in the sky, I'm thinking, there's Jesus, right? I mean, he is the light. He obviously is the spiritual light. And maybe I could have been taught all the lessons I needed to learn the easy way by, and that's one of the lessons I can teach people and say, you could learn the easy way or you can learn the hard way. And the hard way, whenever you're working with the devil, is not so good. See, I opted for the path of mercy. And for the first, I don't know, 3, 4, I don't know, the first few years, I was just being consumed. That's all it was. And there were those that witnessed the damages done. But, well, we don't have to refer to those things anymore, I'm sure. There are things changing. Oh, the one last thing I would say is, again, to reference that damn Toad and Wet Sprockets song, where he's like, you're going to make up your mind. And how he's like, I won't be a gentleman. I'll take you out behind the boathouse and show you my dark secret or whatever it is. And you'll be made lovely. Dark hair and soft skin forever. I'm like, no, I don't want to be an unchanging creature. I don't believe that's at all what I was intended to be. There is a sense of eternal, yes, and a certain amount of unchanging in me, but we're going up. we're not wanting to have a dark thing with us. We're not wanting to be in league with Satan. We don't care anything about their gifts. We don't want to become part of that team. We're on the team of light and life. And the whites are chosen by me, as well as the sky. The sky has chosen me. The sky is taking me. And I love it. Absolutely love it. They won't let me stay forever bound to the material realm. And if I were in some way at the top of the material realm, and was that in between the gate, the bridge, then it will be more than likely as I have been told. And it will be quite a happy place to be, and that I'll have fun and rewards of various sorts just simply for remaining in that place helping these others to keep climbing up. Which that's really a worthy work. I mean, if you're not going to be with him, right, which is the best, I'm telling you, there is not anything that can replace it. If you've ever felt his unfailing love, okay, if you've ever felt the light, if you ever felt living water, then you know what you want is to be there with him and be enjoying that. That's why they talk about the streets being made of gold. It's, what kind of gold do we want? The gold from Jesus. We want that best gold, the kind that never burns, And I was telling one of them the other day, I like gold. It's associated with the sun, isn't it? A day thing. You got gold and you got silver. I'm really much more into gold. Go, Goldie, go, Goldie. They sing. So again, thank you so very much for all your love and your support. Maybe I will try to break this up into a couple videos. But otherwise, well, you can always pause it, right? I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. All of you that love me sincerely and are loyal to me, thank you very much. I probably will be making a video about yesterday's experiences. There were notables yesterday, I do believe. And so, again, thank you all so very much. And thank you for your patience and your time. Thank you for helping us. It's going to pay off.